Hello everyone and welcome to Joshua's newborn to 9-month update. I do apologise if you can hear my washing machine in the background. I have shut the living room door. I do apologise about the mess as well. It's just like I said, Joshua's 9 months old now. He's on the move. He doesn't stop. He pulls himself up and takes everything. But anyway, you're gonna know that anyway. I decided to do this video because obviously we've not been doing YouTube that long, so you've not known Joshua. You've only known Joshua since he was about 6, 7 months old. So I decided to do a newborn to 9-month update, so you get to know him and how and what he's been like and stuff like that. So yes, first thing I'll start off with would be his weight. Yeah, so Joshua was born on the 4th of March 2016. He weighed 8 pounds and 4 ounces, so he was quite a big baby. He was 10 days late though, so you do kind of have to take that into consideration. Why don't you sit next to Mummy? Get off the pad though. Yeah, whether he's going to stay in or not in shot in this video or not, I don't know. You're making this really difficult. I wanted to include you in the video because the update is about you. I might have to put him in his jumperoo in a minute just to get him to stay still because he's not cooperating really well right now. Get off the tripod. So yeah, this is not going very well. I don't like the way this is going because I'm not getting stressed, but it's shit. So I'm probably going to have to redo this another time when I've got more time and when Joshua's not with me, which is kind of annoying. I kind of wanted him in the video because it's his update and it's about him. So yeah, sorry guys, this is not going to plan. Right, it's a few hours later now, so I'm going to try doing this again. Joshua is letting me distract him with the Scotty biscuits. So I'm going to start off with Joshua's weight from the day he was born until now. If you don't know, he was born on the 4th of March 2016. I have got my labour and delivery story video done. That's been uploaded for a little while now, so I will link that down below for you if you want to go find out what happened during my labour and stuff like that. But when he was born, his weight was 8 pounds 4 ounces, which is quite big for a baby. He was late, so he's about average. He was about what I expected him to be. I expected him to be at least 8 pounds. So, and then when he was 6 days old, a midwife came round to check up on him. He got weighed again and he was down to 8 pounds 1 ounces. So he lost 3 ounces, which is pretty good because a lot of babies lose a lot more than that. And then he got weighed again when he was 10 days old and he'd gone up to 8 pounds 6 ounces. So he was then actually 2 ounces heavier than what he was at birth, and he gained 5 ounces. And then when he was 1 month old, he weighed 10 pounds and 8 ounces. So he was 2 pounds and 2 ounces heavier than what he was at 10 days old. When he was 2 months old, he weighed 13 pounds 8 ounces, so he gained 3 pounds in the space of that month. At 3 months old, he was 15 pounds and 7 ounces, which means he gained 1 pound and 15 ounces in the space of that month. At 4 months old, he was 18 pounds and 8 ounces, which means that he gained 3 pounds and 1 ounce in that time. At 5 months old, he weighed 19 pounds and 7 ounces, so he gained 15 ounces in the space of that month. At 6 months old, he was 21 pounds and 10 ounces, and he gained 2 pounds and 3 ounces from 5 months to 6 months. At 7 months old, he weighed 23 pounds and 5 ounces, so he gained 1 pound and 10 ounces between 6 and 7 months. And at 8 months old, he was 24 pounds and 7 ounces, so he gained 1 pound 2 ounces. Don't eat my notebook. 1 pound 2 ounces between 7 and 8 months old. I got him weighed 2 weeks ago and he was 25 pounds 11 ounces, and that is what his current weight is. I'm gonna get him weighed on Wednesday, and what he gets weighed on Wednesday I'll class as his 9 month, how much he weighs at 9 month old. But yeah, his current weight is 25 pounds 11 ounces. So I'm just going to quickly talk about his eye colour because that's not going to take long. When he was born with blue eyes. They were quite dark, and as he's got older, they have got a bit lighter, but they've stayed like blue, so they've not changed colour. They've just got slightly lighter in as he's got older, but I don't think they're going to change from blue eyes. As you know, he's had them since he was born. His eye colour is obviously more like Sean's, as my eyes are brown, as what you can tell from doing my vlogs and stuff. But his eyes are actually a lot darker than Sean's. Sean's like a kind of a green / blue, whereas his is just blue. So I'd say his eye colour is more like my dad's. His hair. So when he was first born, his hair was really dark. He didn't have like lots of hair, but he had hair. He did have some bits of hair. It was quite dark. When he lost his hair when he was a few weeks old, and as it's grown back, it's got blonde. I'd say he's probably got maybe a little bit more hair than what he has now, than what he did have at birth now. So his hair is starting to grow. He's starting to get quite a lot of hair. I find that his hair is longer at the back than what it is at the front. So he's got more hair at the back than what he has at the front, which kind of looks a bit funny in photos and makes him look a little bit bald from if you see it from the front. He has actually got hair. So I want to talk about milestones next. This is another long one to get out of the way. So the first milestone that most babies should do is the first smile. And he was 4 weeks old when he gave his first proper social smile rather than a windy smile. I wasn't able to catch that on camera until he was 6 weeks old though. And it is probably one of the most unflattering photos I've ever taken of Joshua. But at least I catched his first smile on camera. He started supporting his own head at 6 weeks old, so it was still like wobbly, you know, like them bobblehead dog things with the head that wobbles everywhere. But yeah, he was able to start supporting his own head from 6 weeks old, which meant we were able to have him set up a little bit more rather than having him in like a cradling position when we held him. He then started sleeping through the night at 7 weeks old. We started to put him into a bedtime routine, and that seemed to like settle him down and get him to sleep through the night. He started lifting his head while he was doing tummy time, and he was 8 weeks old. He started doing that. It was only for like a couple seconds, but he was able to sort of like lift it up and then sort of turn it from side to side. So he started doing that at 8 weeks old. He also had his first laugh at his first little proper laugh at 8 weeks old, which was really cute. And he started properly like, he could kind of pick things up before this, but he started like really proper grabbing things and sort of shaking them about at 8 weeks old. So he was able to properly grab things and pick it up and then try and put them in his mouth. The next thing after that was when he set up unsupported. He started to sit up unsupported at 4.5 months old. The next thing I've got on my list is when he said dad for the first time, and he was 5.5 months old. Dad was his first word. Unfortunately, he's a traitor, and he said dad for the first time rather than mum. He then rolled over from tummy to back for the first time at 6 months old, which is really random when he did this, because before he tried to sit up on his own, he would try to roll over and get to his side and then get stuck. So I was a bit like, oh, I thought he was going to roll over, and then he suddenly just got interested in trying to sit up on his own. So I didn't think he was going to bother rolling over, because I know some babies do skip like certain milestones. And then I left him on my bedroom floor because he likes the mirror on my wardrobe. And when I came back, I caught him rolling over from his tummy to his back, and I was just a bit really shocked. He also said mama for the first time at 6 months old, so I was really happy when he started saying that. But then he'd only say it when and he still kind of only says it now when he's like really aggy. So when he's tired and he's whingy, he goes mum, mum, and I'm like, can you please say it when you're a bit happier? He does say it more often now, so he will say it when he's happy, but when he first started saying mum, it'd only be when he was like really aggy. He then rolled over back to tummy at 7 months old, so a couple of weeks after he could roll from tummy to back, he then went from back to tummy, and that was kind of random. I was changing his bum one day. You would have seen it on the vlog that I told. Baby rolls over for the first time, and yeah, it was just really random when he did it. He then crawled when he was 7 months old. He crawled for the first time. He started off as like an army crawl where he'd sort of pull himself or kind of shunt himself along the floor using his legs, but he has since then turned into like a proper crawl, so he does properly crawl now. He then said nan for the first time at 7 months old as well, and he goes through phases where he'll be like dad, 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 nan, 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 nan. They're the 3 words that he can say. He went through a phase where he'd sit on my lap, and then he'd have his feet like firmly planted on the floor, and he'd sit on my lap when he was sitting on my lap, and then he'd just go onto my fingers and start pulling himself up. So he started doing that when he was 7 months old as well. He cut his first tooth. He didn't cut his first tooth until he was 8 months old, and that was his bottom front tooth on that side. Since then he's now cut his bottom front tooth on the other side as well, so he's cut 2 teeth now. And the last thing he's kind of started doing is putting himself up to my furniture and likes to explore. No, he doesn't like move around furniture. He's kind of sort of starting to figure out that he can move, and he likes to sort of be able to stand and look around doing that. It also gets him into trouble because he's now tries to pull himself up onto the TV unit and pull off the soundbar and stuff like that. So it definitely keeps him on my toes. So that's all for his milestones. If we talk about weaning, so we first started weaning at 5.5 months, and I decided to wait until 24 weeks as that's what the recommended guidelines are for weaning now. I started just giving him lunch, which just started off with like pureed veg, fruit and veg. So the first thing he had, I think, was carrots, which he wasn't too keen on at first, but he grew to like them, and sweet potato and things like that. He's pretty much loved everything that I've given him. The only thing that he didn't like was parsnips. He literally, like, I tried to give it to him a couple of times and he literally just gagged and then spat it out and wouldn't eat anymore. But he will eat parsnips if I cook it blend it up with other fruit or veg. So there's one dish that he particularly likes that's got parsnip in it. It's parsnip, carrot, potato and cheese, and he really likes that. So yeah, we started having one meal a day with lunch, and after a week he then would go have breakfast and lunch. To start off with breakfast, he'd have mashed up rusk, which he ate, and then we moved on to baby porridge, and he now has Weetabix for breakfast. And then after a week of giving him breakfast and lunch, we then introduced dinner. So he now has 3 solid meals a day, and they're good bowl heaps. They work out to be about 5 ice cubes per meal. And yeah, so he has 3 meals a day. He has two like puddings, so like he'll have a pudding after lunch and a pudding after dinner, and he also has 1 snack a day. He also still has about 24 ounces of milk as a formula as well. So yeah, he likes his food and his milk. So clothes and nappies. So he currently wears 9 to 12 month clothing, which he's starting to grow out of now. He still has got like a couple items that are like 6 to 9 months, but he's mainly into 9 to 12 months now, especially with things like trousers and dungarees and stuff. He's 9 to 12 months, but like I said, it's starting to get a bit snog on him, so it's not going to be that long, and then he'll be in 12 to 18 month clothes, which is quite depressing because he's 9 months old tomorrow. He'll already be 9 months old by the time you see this video. He also wears size 5 nappies. I buy as does Little Angel's nappies, as that's the ones that I liked. We tried Pampers when he was first born, and he used to leak in them. The last thing we're going to talk about is sleeping. So when Joshua was first born, his first night he slept really well. Like, he literally just slept all day and all night, and I had to keep waking him up for feeds. I tried breastfeeding at first, but we now formula feed. But that is whole nother story for a whole nother video. The next day he sort of was a bit more awake and a bit more wanting to feed. But he was, the funny thing is, he was fine at the hospital, and then as soon as we got home, he sort of just wanted to feed all the time. So literally, like his second night, he literally was like awake every 5 minutes wanting fed. And the thing is, it wasn't even because he was hungry, it was just because like he wanted comfort. I mean, he didn't particularly like his Moses basket when we first put him in it. I think we just found, obviously, there was too much space there. He's gone from being inside me for 9 months, so it's all cramped and warm, to like a big scary world and having all this space in his Moses basket. It's kind of weird because he'd sleep either on me or Sean. If you can see your head bobbing up and down, that's Joshua. But he wouldn't sleep in his Moses basket. First couple nights at home, he didn't sleep. But as soon as we like switched to formula feeding, so we started to introducing him to formula. As soon as we like started giving him formula, he'd go 3 to 4 hours. He was like that for a few weeks, and then I think when he was about 4 to 5 weeks old, he started going like 6 hours at night time, and he would still go 3 to 4 hours in a day, but at night time he'd go 6 hours. And then when he was 7 weeks old and we put him in his bedtime routine, he then started going 10 hours. So he now sleeps, well, before he cut his second tooth, he was sleeping for 12 hours. And he's been sleeping for 12 hours since he was about 4 or 5 months old, when we decided to bring his bedtime a little bit more forward, and it did. He was then sleeping for 12 hours. Before he cut his second tooth, most nights he was sleeping for 12 hours. We're having a slight issue with his sleep at the minute, as he seems to be waking up like multiple times during the night, and I don't really know what's going on there. He's waking up like at least 2 to 3 times a night. I'm hoping that this sorts himself out. I know that babies go from the ages of between 8 to 10 months, they can go through like what they call a sleep regression. So I'm hoping this might be just it, and hopefully he phases out soon. In terms of naps as well, so when he was first born, obviously newborns just sleep all the time anyway. When he started to get a bit more awake, and when he started to sleep through the night, he then had issues with naps in the day. He'd only sleep for about 20 to 30 minutes, which wasn't enough for him. He needed longer naps. but he wouldn't nap for any longer, which is really hard because I was then struggling to get like housework stuff done, because I used to try and get it done the whole time he like through when he was napping. But obviously because he wasn't napping for like very long, I was finding it difficult to get stuff done. And then suddenly one day something just clicked and he just started napping for like 2 hours at a time. I didn't even need to play in white noise or anything like that. Sorry, it's just been a bit of a nightmare at the minute. Nearly done now, and then you can have a bath. And then suddenly we then started going through a little bit of phase where he was struggling to then nap again during the day. But when I started to use white noise, I didn't realise that was helping him to nap. And again, he was then going for like 2 hours at a time for naps, which is what he does now. But I still have to play in white noise. That's about his naps. We decided to put him in his own room when he was about 4.5 months old, because we went on holiday and stayed with a friend for a few days, like up north, and obviously he had to sleep in a travel cot, and I was really worried because I was like, oh, is there going to be a bit like when we first tried to get him to sleep in his Moses basket, and you know there's too much room and he's not going to enjoy it. But no, he actually slept really well in the travel cot. So we when we came back from the short trip, we decided that it'd be a good idea to maybe move him into his cot, because he was pretty much outgrowing his Moses basket by this point anyway. He had like that much room from his head to the top of the basket, and every time he moved the basket was shaking. It was making me nervous, and we decided to move him into the second bedroom. And yeah, so ever since he's been in his own room. Occasionally occasionally he sleeps in our bed when he's having a bad night, but usually most nights he sleeps in the cot, and apart from recently he sleeps really well in there. So and that's why he has his daytime naps now as well, in the cot. I always put him to... What's your beef? Can you say hello? Hello. Yeah, so we've always, since he was like a few weeks old, we tried to get him to take naps in the different room, so like to get him used to sleeping away from us, and that seems to have actually worked quite well for us. That's really it for the update. Yeah, I'll be doing another update next month. I'll be updating you on what else he's learned since this update. Thank you for watching. Please share and maybe subscribe. Don't forget to check out all my links down below in the description box. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't be afraid to leave a comment down below, as I will respond to all comments. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye. And Joshua, say bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye. Can you wave? Bye-bye. Don't pick your nose. Okay, bye-bye. No, that's probably all the best you're going to get from him. Yeah, bye guys.